Everybody. I'm Donna Madden, author, book lover, and your host of Books, Banner, and Beyond, the podcast for everyone who believes in the power of stories, the people who create them, and the communities that celebrate them. Whether you're a reader, a writer, or someone who just loves everything bookish, this is your space, and welcome. Well, today I am talking with K.M. Ryan, who is a contemporary romance author. K.M., welcome. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am wonderful, thank you. Let's go ahead and get started. Tell us
Oh.
something about yourself.
Um, so I've been writing for years since I was younger. And so yeah, this is just like my life. I don't really know how to describe it, it's just something that I've always done and it's just fun.
Awesome. So you say your entire life. So when you were a kid in elementary school, were you one of those authors that knew you were going to be writing even when you were toddling
Yeah,
around the house?
I say my entire life, but I'm in my 40s now, and so it feels like a long time. But I started writing probably when I was like 12. And so back when like fan fiction became like a big thing. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's when I really got into it. So I didn't know I wanted to be a writer until then.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're in your 40s. You've been writing for a long time. I can tell from behind you, you have
Yeah.
tons of books. Do you have any children?
I do. I have two kids, an 8 and a 6-year-old.
What do they think about your books? Do they really realize you're an author?
They do because when I go to events, like we explain to them, like, I'm not going to be here. I got to go to an event. And then they're like, what are you doing? And so then I tell them I'm selling books and they recognize my covers and everything. And so,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they'll point them out and be like, look, it's your book.
Cool. Do they comment about the covers?
Uh, yes, I don't think they quite think about it too much yet. And so I do have discrete covers as well. And so I try not, like, I don't display them in my house. Like I have just the spines showing like in our main area, but
Hmm.
this space like behind me is like my office in our basement that my kids are not allowed to go in.
Gotcha. Very, very good. Okay. So what inspired you to want to write? Was there a book or an author who you just sucked you in and you're like, I want to do this?
Um, so like I mentioned before, fan fiction really got me into reading that. And then I read Ruby by V.C. Andrews.
Okay.
And I got obsessed with that book. It was so good. And then I binged the series. But I was not much into reading prior to that. Like I would for school, of course, but that's about the extent of that. And then with the fan fiction, like I found it online and I used to read that a ton. Like I got crazy addicted to that, like nonstop reading it. And then I was like, I wonder if I could do this. And so then I started writing it and posting it. And then it was kind of like the high of getting other people to see your stuff and being like, oh, what do they think of it? And just kind of going from there.
Okay. Now I'm in my mid 50s. And so I most of my life had no internet. Excuse me,
Mhm.
internet. And so I have a question about this.
Yes.
And I ask all the time, fan fiction. I've heard of it. I sort of understand it, but what exactly is like I hear I've heard that Twilight is fan fiction of 50 Shades of Grey or whatever. I'm like, what? So what is fan fiction? Can you explain it in a way that some of us who might be a little older really don't understand?
Yeah. So basically, you take a concept like a lot of people do Harry Potter or Twilight
Mhm.
or whatever. And like for me, it was in sync. And
Okay.
then you write a story about them. Like it doesn't have to be real life, obviously. It can, I mean, it's fiction, but you kind of use the personalities of them or their or characters of like Harry Potter and you write your own story. And so based
Gotcha.
on you just use their characters, but yeah, it's your own story.
Interesting. Okay. So what fan fiction did you write?
Mine was all in sync.
All in sync.
Yeah,
So
that
that's
was
where you got
that's
started
my
with your contemporary romance then, huh?
well, actually back then like it was young adult And then I wrote young adult up until about 2017, and then I started writing romance.
Gotcha. Very, very, very cool. How many books do you have written? Do you even know? Because I know that you have a lot.
Someone asked me this the other day, and I actually had to count because I wasn't sure. I have 18. Five of them are full length, and the rest are all novellas.
Okay. Very good. Well, I'm glad you brought that up. So you write full length and novellas. Which one did you start writing first? The full length and then change to novella?
Full length is what I've always written. I didn't think it would be possible for me to write a novella, but then an opportunity came up for me to join a collaboration, and I was like, let's give it a try and see if I can do it. And then it kind of evolved.
Gotcha. So in your world and in your mind, what constitutes a full-length novel, contemporary romance is what we're talking about, full-length novel compared to a novella? What's the difference? What word count?
So for me, my full-length novels are all between like 75,000 and like 82,000 words. My novellas range between 20 and 30,000, which is
Okay,
kind of a huge gap, but it just, depends on the story.
gotcha. Very, very cool. Um, okay, so here you are. You're a mom and you're a
Mhm.
writer. And what's a typical day look like for you? If it's a, do you write 5 days a week? Do you just have a couple days? What's your writing schedule?
Um, I'm terrible. I don't actually have a writing schedule. I kind of go fly off the seat of my pants based on my mood. I also have a day job, so I kind of
Okay.
like depending on the day and the time of year, a lot of my readers know who follow me like on TikTok and stuff. They all know that basically from January to April, I don't write at all because I'm a CPA and so it's tax
Oh,
season.
good Lord.
And so, yeah, I kind of like disappear for 4 months and then I come back. And so, everyone kind of knows that who follows me regularly. And so the rest of the year is when I kind of like binge write, but I have to do it based on my mood. I can't write if I'm not in the mood.
I totally agree with that. I'm a teacher, so my summer is my binge writing time. I like that, my binge writing. But today I've wrote 400 words
Oh, yeah.
because it's just not coming to me, and
Yeah.
I've stopped forcing it because I'm like, if
Yeah.
I'm forcing it, it's a waste of my time. It'll
Yeah.
get
It's a
deleted.
huge waste to try to force it.
So, okay. Well, okay, as an indie author, have you ever attended any big signings or indie author events of any kind? And if so, where?
Yeah, I have. I actually attended the Writers Digest conference in New York back when I was first starting out. That was before I was published. I just kind of wanted to dip my toes in it and just start to pursue the career. But now I do signings. All of them have been pretty close to me. I do a lot of local events that don't require like a ton of travel time. But this weekend I'm actually going to Vancouver, Washington for Hot and Steamy in the
Oh, wow.
Pacific Northwest. And I tend to do that one every year, although I'm not sure if I am next year. And then later this year in October, I am actually going to Romance in Chicago, which is
Oh,
a
wow.
lot further for me. I have never gone that far away, but my friend is the one who's running it. And so I'm going
Oh, wow.
because of her. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't because it's just so far.
That's a long trek. I mean, that's a long trek
Yeah.
for me, and I'm on the East Coast. So are you going to have your books shipped to her since she's a friend of yours, or are you going to take them with you on a plane? That's a
I'm
lot.
most likely going to just ship them to her. My I have relatives over there as well, and so I'm planning to visit them. But I think what my plan is to just try to really get people to do pre-orders, and so I know how many to bring, and then just bring a handful of books aside from that. I'm going to try to have one of my books as an omnibus by the time that event
Cool.
starts and have it special edition and just primarily bring those.
Very good. Now, what dates are those? Just so you can put it out there. So if anyone's in the area, they know they can stop by. It's in Chicago. When?
October, yeah, it's October 23rd to 24th.
Oh, okay. Very, very good. Those are a lot of fun. I enjoy, getting to know my readers and all that.
It is a lot of fun.
It is. Okay, so here you are, you write so you have more novellas now than you do full-length novels, right?
Yes.
When was the last time you wrote a full-length novel?
Um, I want to say it's been like 2 or 3 years, probably 3 years.
Okay. Okay. What made you start writing novellas? Go ahead and explain that to us.
Um, so I was invited to join a collaboration, or one of my author friends told me about collaborations, and I was like, well, I'll check it out. And I ended up signing up for one, and it was for novellas, and I decided I would just give it a try and see what happened.
Okay, hold
And
up.
I ended up really
Hold,
enjoying it.
what's a collaboration? Can you explain that in depth?
Yeah, so basically it's a bunch of authors who get together to work on novellas, like not, I don't mean get together in person, but they all get together to write their own books that either follow the same theme or take place in the same town or whatever the requirement is for that collaboration. Like most of mine are just similar theme. Like we all have rock star books where all the characters are involved in some sort of rock star, whether the character's a rock star or their bodyguard or their manager or whatever. And so it's just a similar theme, but we just all promote together.
I met you on TikTok. I don't even know how or when, probably through one of our friends. And
Probably.
I purchased some of your novellas, and they were absolutely adorable, and they're a lot like mine, which is what I
Yeah.
like. The steam level's the same, the characters. And I'm like, okay, I found someone who I can say our steam level's about the same. Sometimes I might be a little bit spicier, but some of your books are spicier than others also. So you and I just got to talking on TikTok, and you mentioned collaborations, and I've heard anthologies, but I had never heard of collaborations. So
Yes.
you attempted to explain them to me, and I just signed up for some.
Right.
And like this September, we have the next Rockstar one.
Hmm.
How can how can people find out about your collaborations, and what's what's expected of people who join your collaborations? Does that make sense?
Yes. So people can find out about them, like as in readers, is just through promotion. I mean, hopefully they will see it pop up on social media. As far as other authors go, though, there are some Facebook groups that are specifically for collaboration signups. And so you just join the Facebook group and then you can scroll all of them and go from there. So that's where we post ours, is through there, and then word of mouth as well.
Okay. Very neat. What kind? So I know like we're doing a Rockstar one in
Hmm.
September, and then a Christmas one at Christmas.
Hmm.
And the only regulation of those was the Rockstar one has to, like you just said, have to be something with a rock star. But then
Yeah.
also the title had to have an alcoholic beverage. It was a
Yes,
no,
which
it was
needs
a
to be
name
mentioned
of
as
a,
well.
explain that.
Yeah, so for the Rockstar one, there just had to be some sort of link to rock. And then the alcoholic beverage is just got to be mentioned. We originally started it where it was just wine. It was just a cute little idea that a bunch of us came up with, and we're like, oh, this would be fun. And then it kind of evolved into, okay, there's only so many wines you can mention in a title. So then we switched it to just alcohol in general.
Gotcha. Very good. And the Christmas one. What was the regulation with that? We all had to have, was it Christmas in the name? I
Yeah, that
forget.
was the only, it just has to be a Christmas novella and have Christmas in the name, but there's no other link to it otherwise.
Very cool. And I know that you also have one, and I'm excited about this one. I've never done one. The thought of doing four in a year,
Yes.
and I'm doing the Alaska one next year, which
Yes.
I'm
Seasons in
excited
Alaska.
because I've lived in Alaska. So it's just so neat how you guys have all this stuff that are
Hmm.
linked and we have to do together. So have
Yeah,
you
that one's
ever,
fun.
what's been your biggest challenge as someone who writes in collaborations?
Um, I think writing on a deadline, because before I was just kind of like, when I finish a book, okay, let's edit it now. Okay, let's
Right.
figure a release date. And now it's like, nope, I have to release when I say I'm going to release. So I think that's probably the hardest. And then trying to, since I'm helping run the collaborations, trying to get people to actually follow through with things you say is actually pretty hard. Like it's a lot of chasing.
Like what? What's the worst thing that's ever happened? Be honest.
Um, You've had, well, okay, so the person that I do the collabs with is the one who makes the covers. And I know
Hmm.
she's had to chase people to get them to give her the cover art so she can actually make the covers or to pick their models. And so that becomes a problem because it kind of delays everything if people aren't getting their books up. And then for me, because I'm the one who links the collaborations together on Amazon, for me, it's just trying to get people to get their books up for pre-order so I can link them all and then getting their ASINs on the spreadsheet so I don't have to go searching for everyone's books because that
Oh,
gets really exhausting.
that's what I got to do next, I think. So, okay. Well, see, this is good because I know that you wanted us all to have them up and the pre-orders up by sometime in June, but I don't think I've put
Yeah.
my ASIN up there yet. So I will do
Yeah,
that when we're.
I eventually go look for them if people haven't put them up, but if the more people who can get them on the spreadsheet, the easier my job is.
There you go. Okay, see, this was all good. This was all good. Okay, so where can people find your books?
So all of them are available on Amazon and Kindle Unlimited. And then I also have all of them available in my shop on my website and then also on TikTok shop. And I'm also thinking about starting a Whatnot account because TikTok has been suppressing me like hard lately. And so
Mhm.
I'm tempted to try a new app that I've heard better things about. So,
That's funny. My son's girlfriend was on some app the other day buying clothes. I'm like, what are you doing? And it was Whatnot.
mhm.
And I'm
I'd never
like,
heard of it.
yeah, me either. And she was like, you need to try to sell your books because I'm having the same issues on TikTok. One minute I'm getting pushed out, next minute it's like nothing, crickets.
Yeah,
And
I was live yesterday and sat there by myself for like 10 minutes. Not a single
yeah,
person came in. And I was like, what the
and
heck is going on?
last year I made my money on TikTok.
Yeah, that's
Ever
what I did
since the
too.
takeover, it has been, I mean, it's been bad. So yeah,
Yeah.
if you try something new and it works, maybe we can come back and talk about that
Yes.
because we need to find something else because I know a lot of us are in the same boat with that.
Yeah.
Do you have your books in any local bookstores? Have you gone that route at all?
I did have them at a local bookstore store just in my city. They're just local to us. And on consignment, but they're no longer there anymore. And so I don't have them in any other stores. I haven't tried going that route.
Okay. Have you thought of like a lot of the indie bookstores are now reaching out to indie authors and doing wholesale where they buy them straight from you at a wholesale price, which is discounted, and then they're there, so it's not consignment. Because like
Mhm.
you, I've had my books in consignments and they sit there, and then I'll show up at the bookstore and I'm like, you only have one of my book. You had three. Where's my books? Oh, I sold them. Where's my money?
Yeah,
And they get
I had
they
that issue too.
yeah. And so that's hard. But I know there's a lot of indie, the smaller indie bookstores that are wanting us to have wholesale. Have you thought of that? Would you think of that?
I would like if they approach or if I heard of one where they wanted to do wholesale. I mean, that would be great, but so far all the ones that I have come across want me to do consignment and when they're not local and I have to ship and eat all the shipping costs and then it's not guaranteed they'll sell, so then they might have to ship them back to me. Then I have to eat all those costs. It's just kind of like
Right.
it's not financially worth it. And so it would kind of depend.
Okay, that makes total sense. Now, here's a question for you. I'm a new reader.
Mhm.
I come to you and you have 18 books. In a perfect world, I'd buy all 18 books because, hey, money's no object. But I don't know about you, that doesn't happen in my world. Oh, it
Yes.
does. It sort of, but it doesn't. But if anyone was to start anywhere, where do you suggest they start?
So for me personally, like I usually ask them what kind of tropes they like, and then I kind of go from there. But if they don't have a preference, then I usually will tell them Cruising for Christmas is my favorite book. That's the one that I had the most fun writing, and it's a complete standalone. It does not go with any other books, but it's a good representation of my writing style. And then I say if they prefer romantic suspense, I recommend Sweet Wine of Mine because that is a romantic suspense series. And so a lot
Oh,
of people
wow.
who enjoy romantic suspense like my rock series. And then if they just want straight up rom-coms that are interconnected, then I recommend my Montana series because it's complete.
Okay. Because I know I have three of your books coming today. I was hoping
Ooh.
they'd show up before we started so we could have opened them right here, but haven't shown up yet. They'll probably show up as soon as we sign off. They'll be here, probably.
Yes.
But and I ordered three of your novellas, and two of them are discrete covers. Can you explain your difference between your non-discrete and discrete?
So the book itself is completely the same. There is nothing different on the inside of the books. It's literally just the cover. Like I have a lot of covers that have a spicy, like a shirtless man on the front. So they're spicy covers. And so I have the discreet ones which don't have a person on it or the person is faded out. So it's just like a figure. And so the main reason I did that is when I started selling on TikTok, I had some male readers who said they really wanted my books, but they had no desire to have a shirtless man on the cover. And I totally
Right.
understood. And so they were telling me if I ever got discreet in, they would buy. And then I had several other people, even females, who were like, I don't like having spicy covers in my house for various reasons. And so they all said, like, if you ever get discreet, I'll buy. And so I finally just said, all right, let's do it, see what happens. And they're pretty big sellers.
Okay. And I'm asking because like right now, all of my covers you can see them behind me and everywhere are all discrete. But I'm moving my Orlinda Valley covers, my ebooks, to having couples on them, which I
Hmm.
write small town contemporary romance. And they the ebooks have covers.
Hmm.
And so like when I start doing the collaborations with you guys, I know we have our ebooks, which are the naked man chest covers, nice and
Yeah.
hot. But then we're allowed to do our own paperbacks
Right.
as long, so I'm considering, like I've seen some of yours, you just basically take off the man chest and you just
Yeah.
have the thing, and I'm considering the same thing, maybe adding something else on there. So that way I keep the whole cover and everything. But have you noticed a difference or on KDP, which is Amazon? Do you
Hmm.
have your ebook still man chest and your paperback on Amazon, the discreet, or do you have if I go to Amazon, what am I going to find?
So all of my ebooks are just the original covers, which are the man ones. I figured those don't matter because people are reading them on an ebook. It's not like the cover's on display when
Mhm.
they're reading. And so that's just available in whatever the original cover was. And then in paperback, I have both listed. I have the spicy cover and the discreet cover listed.
Okay, then you're going to give us a little bit of an example on how the heck do you do that on
So,
Amazon when there's only one spot for paperback?
so it doesn't get linked to the series. That's how you do it. So
Oh,
my original one is linked to the series, and then when I go to do the discrete one, Amazon actually has like a section on their website explaining how to do it. You have to create a new paperback as if it's a new book. You put the same cover, and then you write discrete version in the subtitle. And you have to write that, otherwise they flag it and say you just posted a duplicate book, and then they, ban it. And I've had that happen anyway, like where they banned it and I wrote them back and I was like, hey, you just banned my discreet, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, you can't have two of the same book. And then I had to quote back their own website and link it,
oh
showing
my,
that this is what I did and you said I could. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then they take the ban off and it's just like,
oh wow. Because I just put up some large print editions of my Linda Valley series.
mhm.
And now I'm just like, okay, I'm in the process of trying to get them linked because I see people do it. And so, KDP is not the easiest company to work with.
Yeah,
So,
I don't have any of my discretes linked to the series. I don't know of a way to do that. So I just have like the spicy cover linked and then but if they search my book, both versions will pop up.
okay, well, this is something where if anyone out here listens to this and you have an answer, please drop it in a comment because we would love to know. Well,
Yes.
good. Are there any contemporary romance authors that you absolutely love and who you not choose to write like, but who help inspire your writing? Like what authors, if you get to read, do you read?
My auto buys are like Allie Hazelwood and Abby Jimenez. Those are my two
Okay.
auto buys. Like I buy everything they write. Um, my writing style isn't similar, but I mean that would be fabulous if it was, because I love their writing, but I mean it's just not the way I write. But yeah, I think those are my two main authors that I just always look to. Like I love their writing styles. It's just we're different.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And would you consider yours, they're all contemporary, but are they small town? Are they, well, you said some are thrillers or
Yeah,
suspense.
so I have romantic suspense in my Rockstar series, but the rest of them, like a lot of my collabs are small town romance. Um, I don't know, like I kind of go all over the place with my tropes. But I do
Okay.
like all of my seasons books are all small town, and those will always be small town.
Good to know. Now, okay, spice level. I know people have gotten this far in this interview and they're hearing us talk about contemporary romance. Spice level is one of those things that I don't know about you, but it stresses me out when people ask me, how spicy is your book? Because you don't, it's like what I have to give
It's
you an honest
subjective.
answer, but
Yeah.
there's the levels of spice are ridiculous.
Yeah.
If someone came up to you and asked you that question, what would you say?
So I actually had to ask my TikTok readers this because I have a following on TikTok. And so one day in a live, I asked them because a reader came in and was like, "What's your spice level?" And I was like, "I don't know." And so out of a 1 to 5, my readers have told me that my full length novels, because they're longer, so they've got a lot more spicy scenes, those ones are probably like a 4. And then my novellas, because they're shorter, there aren't as many spicy scenes. They're between a 1 and a 2.
Gotcha. Okay. And so your spicy scenes, even if you only have one or whatever, they're not that explicit. I like to use that word.
Well, they are.
The
I mean,
one
they're
I
open
read
door.
wasn't. Yeah. But
Um,
the one I read wasn't, I mean, it was open
they,
door, but it
yeah, they aren't
was
super
fully done.
long. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
Okay.
super long. It doesn't go on for several pages by any means. I
Mhm.
try to keep it on the shorter side.
Gotcha. Very good. All right. And what do you wish? Oh, this is a good one. What do you wish more people knew about indie authors?
Oh man, that's a hard
I
question.
I know, but think about it, 'cause I don't know about you, but as an indie author, we have to really push ourselves because people think, oh, you're not trad,
Yeah.
you know. So what
And I used to have a hard time with that when I first started out, just being like telling people, oh, I'm an indie author. And then you kind of expect them to
Yep,
look at you like, oh, okay, well, you weren't picked up, so you're not that good kind of thing. So I don't
exactly.
know. Um, just letting people know that just because we're indie doesn't mean we're bad. But and marketing is super hard. And so that's part of it too, is like just because you haven't heard of us doesn't mean that we don't write well.
There you go. There you go. What if people are interested, and I hope they are, where can they find you on social media? What social medias and what is your handle? How can they find you?
So I am on Instagram, and TikTok. Those are my primary ones, and Facebook, because
Okay.
Instagram auto posts to Facebook. All of
Right.
my screen names for everything is author Cameron. I was able to snag that for every single social media. So if you type in author Cam Ryan, that's my
Okay.
handle.
Perfect. Perfect. And you have a website?
I do. It's authorcamryan.com.
Perfect. You're like me. Keep it simple. And
Yes,
do you have a newsletter?
I
And how
do, but it's you can sign up for it up on my website. It's right there on the main page, but I mean, it's very small and I'm kind of terrible about posting on it, but I do post on it.
okay, very good. I appreciate you being here. What else do you want people to know about your books or about you or anything that we didn't talk
Um,
about?
if you're looking for some rom-com, Come try me out. I mean, I've tried to write more rom-com. My full-length novels are not quite rom-com because they were the first ones I started publishing, so the humor started coming later on. But yeah,
There you
just
go.
give me a chance and you won't regret it.
What name off some of the tropes that you have. I know you probably have with 18 books, you probably have a ridiculous amount. Just because I know people shop by tropes, so go for it.
I've got quite a few. I've got a lot of second chance romance. I did not realize how much I had until recently, but I've got a lot of second chance romance, friends to lovers, enemies to lovers, small town, and then rock star suspense and rom-com.
Awesome. And rom-com. Awesome. All right. Well, Kristen, it was wonderful talking with you. I know
Yes.
we've talked on TikTok, but actually getting to talk back and forth and not one of us talking and the other one trying to get it in
Right
and type an
type.
answer.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And I'm looking forward to many more collabs because the
Yes.
thought of writing a novella, especially working full time, is so it's like right now I'm trying to get a full length novel done. And then
Yeah,
in
I think
July,
it's
I'm like, "Ugh,
awesome.
I have to write my two novellas. That just seems so much easier after
Yes, it
writing
is.
70 to 80,000 words. I'm like, "Ugh, I
Yes.
just want to get to those so bad." So I'm looking forward to doing those with you. So we'll get to know each other even more over
Yes.
hopefully a long
I look
time.
forward to it.
Yes. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you.
Thank you.